Hi, my name is Marikar and I'm a conscious psychic channel. I asked the guides to address what it means to live your truth. So here's Xavier. These are my galactic guides, my galactic angels, and they have an answer. This is the question we have been awaiting from this channel. It is, in simple terms, to live your truth means to be in your soul-centeredness. It seems a simple enough of a concept, but it is actually quite complex if you understood the energy of the matrix of creation. It is that as we are coming towards a new year, it is that many of you are beginning to think about your New Year's resolutions. And New Year's resolutions is a grand opportunity for you to begin to understand what is your soul-centered truth. So, it is easier to understand what your soul-centeredness is if you are cognizant about all the spaces in your life for which you give your power away. So it is that as humans, it is natural for you to have expectations of yourself and expectations of one another. But it is that if your desires come from expectations from others, then you must ask yourself whether or not that is in your soul-centered truth. If those expectations come from yourself, it is to ask yourself on how you came about that expectation. Is that expectation born out of your need for validation, or is that expectation born out of joy? So it is easy for us to say this, but the actual performance of the discernment for you to understand if you are in your soul-centered truth is a much more complex matter than the average human understands. So it is that when you are in your soul-centeredness, there is joy in your heart and peace in your mind. When you are in your soul-centeredness, there is a peacefulness for all that you desire. There is a knowing that this is what is in your soul-centeredness. So, as we say that, it is important for you then to begin to understand your desires, your desired outcomes, and to reflect for yourself on where these desired outcomes come from. What we are teaching you is we are teaching you energy as a space. So it is that if a desired outcome is a space, it is that for you, metaphorically, wanting to manifest that desired outcome is you wanting to move to that energetic space. So it is now to ask yourself, what space does this desired outcome come from? Does it come from outside of yourself, or does it come from the joy in your heart? This is the trick of living your best life. If you are always cognizant, always in reflection, and challenging yourself to ask yourself whether these things that you desire, the spaces that they occupy, is this space within the joy of your soul-centeredness? If you always push yourself to ask that question, you will get an answer. For the high self is very motivated to assist you to live your best life, to live within your most soul-centeredness. So again, whenever you have a desired outcome, some desire for manifestation, ask yourself, if everything is energy and energy is a space, where is this space coming from? Is it coming from outside of yourself? Is it coming from expectations from another? Is it coming from somewhere other than the soul-centeredness, the soul-centered joy of your heart? If that is the case, then this desire is not within your soul-centeredness, and this desire is not within you living your soul-centered truth. So it takes some time, it takes some exercise It takes some repetition for you to begin to understand the discernment that is required for you to begin to navigate when that space is outside of yourself versus when that space is within your soul-centered truth. Again, your soul-centered truth, it feels peaceful. There's joy in your heart and peace in your mind. So as you begin to set these intentions, begin to feel into the body. What does the body feel like? Does it feel like there's joy in your heart and peace in your mind? It takes time to understand what that feels like. For unless you have felt in this lifetime what it is like to have joy in your heart and peace in your mind, it is that you will begin to work up to more and more levels of peace and more levels of joy. So that is what it is to be in your soul-centered self. It is for you to begin to understand the spaces that you desire and whether that this space is within the soul-centeredness of your heart or if this space exists outside of yourself. We are assisting you in your journey to be your soul-centered self. Your high self is very motivated to assist you, to conspire for you to be in this soul-centered space. So it is to call on all of these energies for assistance in your discernment, and you will begin to discover the most magnificent version of yourself. All right, they're saying end of message.